Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is the No One's #2 by Cave Pictures Publishing. It's a limited print run series, indie comic book, and I like it. As you all know in the first review, when I went over that, it's basically these heroes that are renowned in their world, then literally just like that, they get completely forgotten. It's like they never existed. Now, when this opens up, this kind of picks up where the last one left off. And what's interesting is they've gone about being heroes, but interestingly enough, no matter what they do, even instantly, cameras rolling, everything, people still forget them. They cannot know. They don't stay in anybody's memory. Anytime they do anything, it's like they're immediately forgotten. So that kind of it's interesting because it bothers some of them, and others, the team is kind of like split on it a little bit. Some of them are okay with that idea because for them, they feel less pressure and it makes it easier for them to do the hero thing. And for others, it kind of bothers them that they're not getting the recognition, or at least it seems that way to Ripple, like what's going on. So they're not understanding exactly why, but they're kind of putting things together, and it's kind of what I expected from the first issue, and it has to do, I think, with the cover-up of the man that Ripple accidentally killed in the first issue. That person probably had some kind of power, and remember that the person that ended up dying was the person that was very critical of them. Like, these hero big shots think they're basically, God's gift to humanity and all this stuff, and that's not what he said exactly, but it was kind of along those lines, like basically like criticizing their arrogance and things like that. And he ended up getting killed by accident by one of them, that being Ripple. And they're kind of starting to get the impression that had to have been it. That had to have been what led to all this happening, because that's the dirtiest thing they had done up to that point, was cover up an accidental death that they had. So we see some of them going through the stresses of this situation here a little bit. Things get fleshed out a little bit more. Like in the case of Flock, she is lamenting the fact that she has no family now, that her family doesn't remember her and things like that. And, we get a little bit more of the background on Kid Cauldron, or Call. You find out that he was actually born in a cauldron through witch's magic, and that's very interesting. And we also get a little bit more insight as to what's going on with what's the character's name? I always forget his name. What's his name? Halfling, the multiple man. Yeah, he talks a little bit more about, he has this episode here where he's saving someone, and then all of a sudden, this piece of him that had died and come back, and he's just, it's really messing with him. And we see that the bar still obviously is trying to have some kind of relationship with his ex-wife here, who is Muse. And there's this thing of course, again, where half of the team is kind of split, right? Half of them know that, all right, there's some stuff that went down. It's probably because of what we did. And others are like, well, we had to do it. We had to do what we had to do. And kind of don't share the same kind of regret or remorse as some of the others do about it. But there's definitely a fracture happening here in the team where they feel like, all right, that has to be it, and we have to go back there and see. So Flock goes back and checks to see where they had buried this guy. She goes with Call. The guy is gone. It's completely vanished. And they're like, okay, what are we going to do here? Like, what's going on here? And that kind of further... that kind of further strengthens that resolve for them to think like, what, this has to be it. This has to be what this is all about. It has to do with this guy here. So by the end of this issue, what ends up happening is that because of all the, I guess, the stresses of everything, and the fact that half of them feel like this is the key to everything, and the other half being kind of like, well, let's just continue to do, they just kind of want to forget about it and continue to do what they do and be heroes, which is a noble sentiment, but at the same time, they're being very dismissive of the fact that this could potentially be the key to everything. And so, some of them don't want to be forgotten and stay forgotten. Some of them are a little bit more okay with it. But ultimately, it seems the general consensus seems to be that, of course, they want to be remembered by somebody. They don't want to be completely forgotten. But they're split as to what to do about it. And that's the interesting thing that the issue leaves off on, is that the team is kind of fractured over the whole ordeal. So where is it going to go from there? So this is a decent read. It's one I would say, if you get a chance, you see this at your local comic book shop, pick it up. Because it is on a limited print run. Not very many comic book shops have this. I had to order this one. The first issue I was able to find at my local comic book shop, but I have not been able to find any more issues since. So I actually had to order this one, and I had to order the third issue, which hopefully should be coming in by later this week or early next week. And I'll go ahead and review it once it's up. But this is I think it's a great series so far. It's interesting. Little bit thought-provoking. I get a little bit of a Watchmen vibe from it because of how much it goes into the characters and the issues the characters have. I won't say it's nowhere. It's not like on the same philosophical level, obviously, as Watchmen, and I don't think that that's what it's trying to do. It definitely feels like it's trying to be its own thing. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to reading the next issue. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, share the video if you can, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, the hunt continues.